right, folks, we're back with Austin Lay. Thanks for tuning in to the YouTube channel, Slingin Dirt Media. Like I said, we're back in the shop with Austin Lay. Austin, again, man, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, it's really great to be here. Like I said in the first part, I think what you're doing is really going to help the sport and really bring more fans to the track, and that's what every promoter should want, in my opinion.
Yeah, I knew when I first had this idea, I started thinking about it, and I was talking to a couple of people about it, and I had said something to maybe Josh about it at one point, and I said, man, I feel like trying this, and this idea is it's I don't know, maybe thinking outside the box, out of the normal what promoters are already doing or not doing. This is something that nobody else in this area is obviously doing. So it's like, well, let's see what this happens, see what it does. It's just another way to get the drivers and the tracks and get everybody's spotlight, get everybody promoting this.
Noticed a little bit, yeah, and I also think it's good that you have like the signs of the racetracks here, Florence, Moeller, Lawrenceburg. I'm sure you'll get several others the more you dive into this. Yeah. So I think it's really good.
Yeah, I hope so. I have such a huge passion for the sport. It's all I think about and stuff. I mean, I have other interests too, but this racing is part of my life. So
yeah, same. Like if I hadn't been coaching basketball all winter, I'd probably wouldn't look like this right now.
Yeah.
All my hair would probably be out just because I'm just so ready to get back to the race season. And now that basketball's over, it's 74 degrees out today.
Yeah,
I'm really
beautiful out.
I'm really chomping at the bit to get out there.
So me and my wife went out of town last weekend, and we stopped and had lunch with some family members out of town, and family I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, I'm like, so what are you doing now? I'm like, oh man, I'm so busy, and race season's getting ready to start, and I started a podcast, dude. My aunt said, so what's a podcast about? And I said, it's about racing. She's like, as soon as I said it, she's like, I knew as soon as I said it. So we got a new piece in the shop.
Yeah, we got an MB Customs this season. Bought this car off of Kent Robinson. He's got a Longhorn now. He wanted to get rid of this car just because he just didn't have enough time really to really dive into trying to get a car to go fast. And whereas like Longhorn, like the shock packages and all, I mean that you can buy speed right away from the get-go, and that's what he.
And I can imagine, a guy like Kent, a good regional guy that travels around a little bit, how difficult would that be of having two different chassis, sitting there and you're trying to work on both. I mean, I get they're both the same class, but still you've got different adjustments, and that's got to be a little more difficult. So yeah,
and he's a super busy guy. He has a business, and he works a lot and doesn't really get to go racing a whole lot anymore.
Yeah.
So and this car's only 14 races old, and we sent some shocks up to Chris and Jimmy to go through. We'll probably get those back sometime next week, I reckon, and then we'll bolt those on and just a few more things. And
a little fine-tuned adjustment, and you're ready to go.
Yeah, we'll be ready to go. I don't think we'll be at practice the first weekend, but I think the following weekend we will look to get out there, shake this car down.
So that would be the practice before the Spring 50.
Week before the Spring 50, get this car shaken down for my liking, see where it's at, see what changes we got to make.
Hopefully it's similar to the Dad's piece that you was in last year.
Yeah, no, I think it is. We just got to probably tune on it a little bit to where it is to that level. But I think once we get that down, do I expect us to go out there and be world beaters my first year in a super late model? Probably not, but I do expect to go out there and compete a little bit.
Sure.
And that's what we're going to do. That's what we're aiming for.
So I'm sure with having some seat time, you drove the crate and you drove Dad's Super some last year. That's got to give you a little confidence going into, hey, yeah, I know I'm not going to be a front running car, but hey, I've got the fundamentals down in a Super. I'm going to be a little bit better. It's not like it's your first time in,
Yeah, absolutely. When I honestly surprised myself when I hopped in his car. Like I thought I was going to be. Like
you looked good.
I thought I was going to be really bad, and I mean, I'm sure my crew even thought I was going to be bad, but no, I shocked myself, and I think I shocked them and Dad and Pap, and that's just kind of what made us decide to go this route. Obviously, we really enjoyed being in the crate late model division. We ran against really good competition every weekend, and they made me better as a driver. And really, I don't think a lot of people don't really know when I started driving. I started driving at about 19 years old. I'm fresh out of high school.
So that's one of the things I was going to mention. We were talking about, and hey, Oak, the dog's walking up. So I was going to mention, like some of the people we've talked to, these guys have been racing go-karts for years. You never had that. You didn't start actually behind the wheel of something until you were, what, 19?
Yeah,
your first time?
Like
it's young, but it sounds late for some of the people.
Yeah, well, like some people are 14, 15 years old and
yeah.
driving crates and super late models and stuff, but heck, they've been driving something since they could walk.
Yeah,
and
5 to 10 years old during go-karts or legend cars or something.
And that just wasn't me. My parents, they pushed me to play sports
and
and
enjoy school.
Go to school, because you really have this the rest of your life. You get to, you kind of get to choose when you're done with this, whereas like the high school,
that's
school
choosing
sports,
for you. It's only a short time, and I commend. That's a pretty good philosophy. And I know when I was younger, it was sports in school, and I never thought about racing until after I got out, and then it was I look back and think, man, I'm so glad that I have all those memories. That's great.
And I'm just grateful to have, in my opinion, the best parents. I was a pretty good basketball player growing up, and really wanted to just. Once I realized how good I could be and how good I was kind of getting already, I was like, we're gonna keep doing this until I can't no more. And then went to Thomas More, went there for a little bit.
And I was gonna say, you played a little bit at Thomas More, didn't you? Because I was talking to my cousin Rob, my executive producer, I guess maybe. We were talking about it on the way here, and I was like, yeah, I think you played a little college ball over maybe Thomas More, I think.
Yeah, did a little bit there, and then just decided it wasn't for me anymore, and just figured. I stuck with school, what I'm studying. I'm studying exercise science. I know my dad and my uncle Mike, they own Joe Land Sons Plumbing.
Right.
And again, my parents kind of pushed me to kind of do something else, just to kind of have that to fall back on in case it doesn't work out. Plus you don't know what you like and what you don't like, so you kind of got to experiment a little bit.
Especially when you're young. You're still figuring everything out.
Absolutely.
I'm 45 and still figuring stuff out. Here I am starting a new adventure in my life at 45.
Exactly.
So between the sports and then starting into racing now, I thought I had heard stories about, I guess maybe you starting racing was maybe not your first priority. You might have went into doing a little announcing or something?
Yeah, well, like growing up, I remember we'd go down to East Bay, and Dad really liked going down to East Bay. At that time, there was about 200 plus cars down there.
And he did in Volusia too. He did.
The heat races were like 24 cars a piece, and now you can't even get 200 cars probably in the state. I don't know, but I grew up listening to James Essex. He was he's my favorite announcer, and
James is pretty good.
I thought for certain that was what I was going to want to be someday, and plus I had like little toy cars. I'd put them in an oval,
we all had the little toy cars.
Little dirt oval, and I'd announce them as they were racing. It was just
so you were focused on the announcing part of it. Yeah.
Well, what's even funnier was like way back in. When I was little at Eldora Speedway for like either the Dream or the World 100, I had like a whole 24 car field, and we sat in like turn 4, I think, and people would just be walking by and they'd see me and they would just start taking videos and pictures of me. And at that time,
you announcing it in the stands. So,
yes.
So I know. There used to be a kid. Man, this guy's probably grown. He could be a flagger now for all I know. But there was a kid over at Lawrenceburg. He was in the front row of the stands every week, and he had the flags out there, and he's doing exactly what the flagman was doing. So I'm going to imagine that guy. I don't know who it is. That'd be a good thing to look up, or somebody probably knows, but that kid's probably flagging somewhere now. I don't know, but so you were in the stands announcing while that kid's flagging, probably.
Most likely. I actually also saw that at Volusia too.
Somebody,
people, if you really want to be something and they work hard and they become really good at it, and they can do anything. You just got to put your mind to it.
Right. So that didn't work out for you. So you're behind the wheel of a car now. So
yeah,
that's probably got to be a little bit more fun, I would think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like once I
probably costs a little bit more to do it that way.
Maybe a smidge. Maybe a smidge. But the very first time I got in the race car, my crate car, a really good crate car. Billy Vaughn's got a really good piece now. As soon as I came back in from Hot Laps, I'm like, man, where's this been the past 19 years of my life?
I've missed this. Where has this been?
Like, golly. And then,
Yeah.
like, by the end of the night, I'm just still grinning. I'm like, is there another race? And
Can we do
that
it
was a
again?
feature.
Can we do it
Like,
again?
Can we do 2 features, Josh? Pickle?
Right,
Come
right.
on.
Yeah. So we talk about scheduling now. Now that you're in a super, and obviously we are right next door to Florence Speedway, so
Yeah.
their schedule's changing a little bit. So you're probably not going to be at Florence every single week now.
Yeah, I mean, on some part of that, it's really it's a bit disappointing just because we have a lot of fans at Florence. It's
Yeah.
our hometown track.
Sure.
We enjoy.
Got a lot of friends and family in the area. You know, like you said, your dad, owner of a business right here. So you guys
Yeah.
have a lot of people here.
It's more convenient for us too,
Sure.
obviously, but also getting on the road a little bit to travel. If we can ever get a hauler, those things are really just hard to get
Right.
for some reason. You know, like as soon as somebody post one for sale, like 5 minutes later, it's already sold. It's
yeah.
like,
you know, I see. I'm not gonna say, yeah, it's hard to get them, obviously, but they're out there. But the ones that are out there are just so overpriced.
Yeah.
that's one of the biggest issues.
that's the problem we're running into right now.
But it's like that with everything.
Absolutely, and but you know, as soon as we get that, the traveling won't be as bad. We'll have enough room for everybody to come in,
Sure.
and we got a camper now, so we'll be able to take that while the crew can sleep in the truck. And
yeah, I knew me and your dad's talked about it. And I know your mom's really excited about having a camper again.
And also traveling a little bit. Obviously, it's a little
Sure.
expensive, but I think it's only gonna make us better as a racing program, because the more tracks you go to, the different racing surfaces you are brought to, and that'll just
You're getting that experience, that education.
It'll make you a better driver all around, and that's why I look forward to it. Obviously,
bittersweet.
Yeah,
Getting away from Florence a little more, but it's going to be maybe more potentially better for you at the same time.
Agreed. And if we're able to run that Ironman series,
so that's maybe a possible plan here.
It's a possible plan. That's what we'd really like to do. I talk to Chris just about every day. I know people have opinions of him, but I really like him, and he's one of my buddies, and runs a top-notch program. Has some really good race car drivers that run his races. So
seems like it's good for your regional guys. You guys that maybe the Lucas Oil Series is a little out of their reach to run that kind of regular, and you know, with tracks being harder to find a regular basis to run at on a regular basis, having I would guess you would call it more of a regional traveling series is maybe a little beneficial for some people.
It's perfect for us just because every track besides Florence is about 2 hours away or so.
3 hours most window there. Yeah,
it's not like Lake Cumberland's like 4 hours from us, because at that point then we'd be like, we can't really do this probably.
Right.
But overall, that's potentially our
plan right now.
Obviously we gotta get Dad's motor back. We've been waiting on that since November. Parts are just so hard to come by right now, and then obviously a truck and trailer. As soon as we get that, then it'll be more clear what we're gonna do.
What the plan could be, what the options could be at that point.
For sure.
So we speak of options now, but we're talking tires. Tires being an issue again, has that gotten any better? I mean, I know we had a winter, and we thought, man, it's going to give the manufacturers some time to stock back up but I don't know that. Are we any better from what you're seeing or hearing? Are we any better now than where we were maybe at the end of 2021?
From what I'm hearing, it's not getting any better at all. It's only getting worse.
That's worrisome.
You're having some guys text Dad actually just seeing if he has any extras, just because they can't get any right now, and it's March. Right. It's March, and it's only going to get worse. So I think
where we're going to be at a month from now when everybody's racing them.
Exactly.
You know,
I think the right thing to do would be for tracks and promoters to do away with that Hoosier deal in the 3 purple jackets, and just open it up where you can run American racers, and plus American racers, they're a lot cheaper than Hoosiers right now, and
Right.
like
Which, by the way, we're not getting paid by any tire manufacturers, so
right,
we're
right.
just talking here.
No, I mean, I think we talked to Ray Cook, really good guy. I think American racers, I think they are $165 a piece, and somebody told us, I can't remember who it was, said that Hoosier tire costs about $225 to $250 a piece, so it's a big.
So one versus the other is a little bit cheaper. Is one necessarily any better than the other? Or are they pretty comparable? Pretty much.
You see that, I don't really know. I just know right now we got to do something a little differently, just because
to alleviate the issue of hey, right now we have a monopoly on the sport and everybody can't get what we need.
Yeah, and I have nothing wrong with Hoosier, and I just know that they have some problems right now, and with like their tires aren't having enough time to get cured right now.
Right. Yeah, I know that was a problem they were having late in the middle of the season. I don't know if that's gotten any better or not.
Like.
Hoping.
I mean, Dad, he'd come back in after 8 to 10 lap heat races and just tires are just junk. And that Jared Bailey at Brownstown, he went 4 laps at hot laps, and they were junk. It's like it gets too expensive way too quick. And I think honestly, if they just open the tire rule up for everybody, like I think it helped Hoosier get caught up a little bit, and the tires would have more time to cure. I think
it may create Hoosier, I guess, to like we said, the word monopoly. They couldn't constantly, I don't know, raise the prices or do whatever they want because now they got competition.
And we talked to Bob and Bobby Pierce at the Fall 50 of last year, and they even agreed with us that there needs to be some competition too in the tire game.
Yeah, I know your dad said me and him talked and stuff, and he's told me multiple times. It's funny how on a race car you can buy parts from multiple vendors, multiple places, except for tires, and it's the one place that you don't have any options. This is what you have to buy, and it's probably the one thing you guys go through the most. I mean, you're not like replacing door panels every single week. You probably are replacing tires every week.
Absolutely. It's just I think everybody knows where he stands with the tire stuff right now.
If you don't know, just ask him.
If you don't know, just ask him. He wants it to be opened up where we can run different stuff, because it could really save some racers some money, and it could just bring more drivers to the track, and that's what I mean. If more drivers come to the track, the more people you bring, and maybe the more fans you bring. So
absolutely.
I know down south they do allow American racers. Like Brandon Hargrove, he's going to allow American racers. He's not going to take the Hoosier deal and stuff. And,
I've heard that, and I think he had a post about that maybe a month or two ago, something like that.
Yeah, so he'll probably be seeing us a lot more this season than what he has in the past. So
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you what, Austin, it seems like this is going really well. I want to keep going, but we're going to break this up into 2 parts. So I'm sure there's a lot more we can get into and talk about. So versus trying to cram it into a short session, we'll go ahead and break this up. We'll throw a caution flag, whatever you want to say. I like doing that.
There's no green light.
There's no green light. So we're going to go caution, take a short break, and then we'll come back with a part 2 with Austin Lay here at Slingin Dirt Media.